Hello, my dears. This is Resilient Lives, checking in with you after a wonderful weekend. I say wonderful because the weather is breaking. The trees have little buds on them because the temperature has increased a little bit. And so I think the trees think that we are possibly going to have spring. And on that note, everyone was out as I went for a drive. But I hope that your weekend was pleasant. And we are so busy looking at Women's History Month that it suddenly dawned on me that we are just about ready to celebrate the anniversary of doing the Resilient Lives blog. Can you imagine that? A year, an anniversary. And I just initially thought that we were going to be in this situation, this pandemic, maybe a couple of months. We thought naively, we didn't know the kind of pandemic we were fighting. We didn't know all of this. And so we began the journey. And I am, it's a bittersweet journey in that, yes, we have and are thriving. Our goal was and is to thrive and to flourish, but we've lost so many to something that we never would have imagined that would shut down our world. And we just take a moment just to be quiet and recognize the sadness. It just feels like maybe there's a primal scream out there for the loss of so many loved ones. Ooh. But I want to thank you for being on this journey. The thought first materialized when we realized that we were instantly put in quarantine. And then the thought was, well, how can we thrive? You know, the thought was babies, in order to grow, need touch, human touch. And without that human interaction, how are we going to do this? Of course, naively, we were thinking it wasn't going to be something that was going to take a long time. But we embarked on a journey that we had no way of knowing how long, how it would end, how we would do it. But wow. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your support, your comments, and just our being together. Because the thought was born out of helping each other to make it through. And so, here we are, celebrating. We must celebrate. We set out on a life to live intentionally, to receive support, that vital support, and give that support. It's all about giving and receiving, ebbing and flowing. And it has been growth promoting because we didn't know how we were going to do it. And we've learned how to do so many things novelly. I have gotten comments in to the vlogs. If you ever want to make some comments, especially if you're subscribed, you can leave a comment on the vlog if you have a thought that you'd like to share. One, I didn't write it down, and I might mess it up, but it was encouraging because a couple of them were talking about hope. As long as we had each other and we were proceeding on this journey, hope was one of the tools that we were learning how to have, and camaraderie. And so we're going to continue on that journey as we begin to come out. But I thought it would be interesting. We've looked at some kind of themes, but I thought it would be interesting to look at some of the themes and comments that have evolved. Thriving. Obviously, we have reached that goal because we are still here. We are still here. And it is quite a journey. I know I've received my first vaccine, and I know everyone is waiting to receive that vaccine so that we can possibly get back to a new norm, possibly go out, And we don't know what we don't know, but it would certainly be good to go out and be with each other again. And so as we think about it, just want to remind you and myself to keep nurturing ourselves, because we must do self-care. It still gets a little frustrating because there are so many questions on how to do this life. We get to continue to send some little energy nuggets. We are each other's comrades along this journey, and sometimes things get a little busy, and we forget to take care of ourselves. And I'll just tell you a quick story. I was trying to organize my office desk, and I had a plant and I still have it sort of, that I love, and it's called a prayer plant. And the reason I love it is because it's a green plant that the leaves fold up at night and they open up in the daytime. And I just love this plant. And it just so I guess that's why they call it a prayer plant, because it opens like hands open to pray, and it close at night. And I mistakenly put, as I was trying to straighten up, I put books and things in front of this plant, and I forgot to water it. And so when I saw it, I couldn't believe how wilted it was, and I was almost upset that I had almost killed my prayer plant. So I did a little trimming and watering and repositioning it. But it was a metaphor to me, a wake-up call. It was a aha moment. It reminded me that we can't put a whole lot of things in our lives, even while we're trying to bring order and bring some type of schedule to our lives. We can't put so many things up front that we forget to water ourselves. We forget to nurture ourselves, because when we do that, well, we don't survive, or we become fatigued, or we become we're not creative. We're not at our peak. We do need to do self-care, and we had spoke a little bit about that temple maintenance. But the metaphor of my plant that I am babying, singing to, feeling sorry because I searched all over for this, is to remember every day to do something that nurtures, that hydrates you, that waters you, that brings joy into your life. And I will continue to do the same. So be encouraged and bring some joy into your life and continue to provide joy to someone else, because they might have gotten bogged down too. We've got to think of others and intentional living. So cheers. Know that you're loved. And until next time, be good. Take care and replenish your joy. Bye.